there's a new trend, people will go one way all the way. And then you come back, you have to try to work the bugs out of the system. So I think we're at the working the bugs out of the system place right now. When technology and workspaces became obvious that that's the way to go, I think office spaces became very open, where people are working on a big open table and they have no privacy and they're super modern in their design. I think we're kind of pulling back in a way, and while it's still very important to integrate technology from the very beginning when you're opening a new office, it's really important to have your technology all integrated. And then also creating an environment where employees are comfortable and they can collaborate when they want to, but they can also find space for themselves where they want to, and they can congregate, and they have lounges and little hangout areas, and conference rooms where they can do face-to-face conferencing and have meetings with people all over the world. And that has to work flawlessly, because in big business there's no room for technical issues. Well, you can integrate technology into any application you want. I mean, nobody needs to see the speakers. You can have all of your high-tech bells and whistles and still have a really warm environment. And also, when you're integrating technology, you're also integrating lighting, so you can have lighting that's comfortable and soothing for certain times, for certain applications. And when people need more light for work, you push another setting on their, tablet, and now you've got work lighting, and now you've got presentation lighting that brings the lighting down so that you can do a PowerPoint presentation. All of that sets a mood. I think a lot of people are resistant to this change, like they are with any change. There's people who are right on board and they're way ahead of the game, and it's super important to them, and then there's other people who are just hanging on to the same old model of the law firm, and the executives have the big the corner office. It doesn't work like that anymore. We're rearranging the space needs where the heads of the companies no longer want to be isolated from their employees. They are part of the team. So they're part of the open workspace, and they're driving their team along. And then the big rooms go to for groups to congregate. Mm-hmm. And then the small spaces are maybe just like if you need a alone time to concentrate on something or to meet one-on-one with somebody. Well, I toured a lot of campuses and office spaces for companies like Twitter and Airbnb and Google, and I've found that they have really taken, all of those companies have really taken that issue into account. And so they do create, Google is like a big college campus. I don't know if you've been there. Mm-hmm. They do have the big work desks where everybody collaborates, but they also have little libraries with beanbag chairs, and they're also very interested in the individual now, instead of, even though they're doing these big work areas where you think you're just a cog in a wheel, you're not at all. They're really putting the emphasis on individuals. At Google, they have, this ongoing slideshow of people's dogs. You can bring your pet in if you want. They're really making it a good environment for employees to want to come, because really we can all work at home these days. Almost everybody can. We all have a laptop and we've got a printer and a phone. So you can work anywhere, but they want your employees to show up. They want their employees to show up because there's a collaborative effort. And so there's a big movement to make the environment comfortable for everybody, no matter what their needs are. I think it's very important to communicate all of these issues to your designer or your architect. Make sure that you just, don't feel like that's weird. It's like, oh, we got, whatever. Whatever it is, lay it out, and we'll work around whatever your issues are. If you still want the corner office for your executives, that's cool. As the company morphs, you have to design from the beginning to be able to grow with it. And I think modular walls are very important. As your business grows, you can just add more walls, you can reconfigure the spaces, you can take your walls with you when you move to a larger space. And all the technology and the data can be easily updated by just popping off a panel and updating all the data, putting the panel back on. So you're not cutting into walls, into drywall and patching that. So you're saving money ultimately. In the beginning, it's a little bit hard to get people to spend the money, but once you get them on board, they realize that in the long run, you're saving them money because they're already poised for the future.